Welcome back to Angie and Christie Right Now. Today, we're excited to welcome back a dear friend, not as a co-host this time, but as our featured podcast guest. This writer is the author behind the Tales from the Dark District, an urban fantasy series set in magically cloaked corner of Manila, where supernatural secrets and very human struggles collide. The novella Sojourn first introduced readers to the magical realm of the Dark District back in 2018, and the first book, entitled Take Me Now, guided readers through this vivid world of danger, desire, and destiny. Now our guest is back with Take My Hand, the second full-length novel in the series. This time, the story follows Trina Lee, a beloved college guidance counselor who's hiding more than just her feelings. In addition to being an author, our guest is a true Renaissance man, working as a singer-songwriter under the name Kaz, as a radio DJ, a voice actor, and a podcast host promoting Filipino creators through his show Urban Fantasy. And of course, to Angie's and my delight, he's also active in fandoms from Star Wars to Harry Potter to The Lord of the Rings. We're excited to take a deep dive into his newest release, to explore the growing world of the Dark District, and to talk a little sci-fi fantasy too. It is our honor to welcome back CJ Edmunds to the podcast. CJ, thank you so much for coming.
Hey, thank you for having me back. I missed you both.
Oh, we missed you. We love when you come on. We have such a blast with you. I think like
know
our
it feels
brains all
so.
work the same.
Thank God for that.
Right.
It feels odd sometimes being a guest. I mean, having been doing my own share of hosting, and always got these set of questions prepared, making sure that one question leads to the other. Here I'm just sitting back and waiting for whatever it is that you throw at me.
Yeah, let us do all the work. We get it. We get it. Sure. But I think that's what me and Angie were talking about. Like we somehow have to find like a way that we can like sneak on to your, like, I know we're not Filipino artists, but like we have to sneak on to your podcast at some point just to say hi. We won't even
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, why not? Why not? We'll work something out.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be fun. But we are going to start the podcast the same way that we start the podcast with all our guests, and that is CJ Edmunds. How did you know that you wanted to be a writer?
You know what? Someone asked me that before, and my answer would still be I didn't know that I wanted to write. I guess up until you got your hands on a good book. You got your hands on a good book and you felt that I think I want to do this, or I think I can do this, or I think I want to do this. So it's a combination of those questions, and then when you feel that you've started writing your own sentence, your own paragraph, your own prose, and you look back and you just stare at it and say, okay, I think I may be able to run with this. Let's see how farther I can go with it.
So how old were you when you first started writing? Do you ever write anything in school or?
Oh yeah, yeah. In school as well as in college, and when I was waiting for my ride, I would usually have a stack of scratch papers, from the office, from my dad's office, that they won't use anymore. And so I'll have a bull clip. It's bull clip, and it's in my bag, and I would just scribble away whatever it is that I'm thinking about. But back in the 80s, and this is obviously going to date me, soap operas were the big thing. Dynasty, Knots Landing, Falcon Crest, and all that. So for those who know those shows, yes, you kind of like how young I am. But those were sort of like the things that I liked watching back in the day. And so most of my stories will be that.
Oh my God. Drama. Lots of drama.
Yeah, it's all drama. Family members, hidden family members, or more like surprise family members sprouting up like mushrooms. I didn't know I had a brother. I didn't have a sister. It's like, what's going on? I didn't know my dad had two mistresses, let alone one. So it's those kind of things that kept me going. And then and some of my friends who knew that I love those kind of stories would ask, so how's your writing going? Have you seen the latest episode? Have you did this and that? And it was that kind of episodic storytelling, I guess, that got me hooked. And when I finally started reading during the summer Sidney Sheldon books, I was like, wow, this is awesome. It's like I can't write a government conspiracy to save my life, but nonetheless, I like I like the way that it set things up. It teases you a bit and then draw and pulls back again, gives you some info and then pulls you back again. Pretty much what thrillers really do these days, by way of so many experts out there, Dan Brown being one of them. And I figured, okay, this is there seems to be a process here that I need to master, but I feel like I need to read more so that I can get a further grip on how things are supposed to be going. And basically that's what I did. And I like to think that every writer out there starts with being a reader. You cannot be a writer without being a reader. You just can't. It's the mathematical formula does not compute that way for some reason. So anybody out there who says you want to be a writer but you hate books, think again.
So what genre did you start writing in?
So it's mostly that with drama, and then I started to discover I don't know if I'm still on the hunt for these books. This is before R.L. Stein, or maybe the same as R.L. Stein and Goosebumps books, but they're two different books by Bantam. One of them is called Dark Forces. It's a series of YA books, very very thin, and the other one is called Twilight. So from what I remember, they're Bantam Press, and so they're just really standalones that feature heroes in high school dealing with supernatural entities and supernatural cases. So those were the books that I really hoarded, and I wish I had not given them up because of storage space and all that. That got me really reading, and then college came in. Of course, you had to be more focused on your actual textbook and not read for pleasure and just read for school. And then City Sheldon came on, and then my real foray into taking myself seriously, I guess, as a reader was when I discovered Anne Rice. So she is the goat. She is the bomb for me. That's when I figured, okay, I think I want to do this. I know I want to write like her. I know I want to make my readers feel that they've actually visited a place that even physically I haven't been there yet. I speak of it as if I had been there and I've lived a life in that area, and making the place, the setting, and the people who live there as real as possible.
Yeah, I could feel that in your books. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's very magical,
Mhm.
and in a literal sense, because of you have the magic in the books, but then also the words and the way you play on the words and the way you describe things and the way your characters feel and express their emotions makes you feel that way as a
oh,
reader. Yeah,
oh, that's so nice to hear. Oh, thank you,
beautiful.
thank you.
And the same way that you were saying that they give you a little bit of information, then they pull back and they give, like you
Yeah.
do that too. Like the beginning of Take My Hand, like when you're introducing the character, you definitely do that. You give us a little bit and then you pull
Little
back
taste.
and then yeah, absolutely. Just enough of a taste to say like, what's going on? Like, oh, and like very cool. I love it.
I know. I don't know about the surprise thing, if it was a little too soon of a reveal, but I figured I needed to put that a little bit in there so that I'll have more time to process what the character was emotionally going through,
Mhm.
her struggles are, and her history, literally. And of course, for spoilers, I can't say what that ball is because
Nope.
Yes,
you
no
gotta,
spoilers.
I know this is going to
yeah,
be a hard interview for no spoilers.
I know.
right, right.
We can do it. We can do it.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when do you sit down and write Sojourn, and what's going through your head? How do you come up with the Dark District?
I wrote Sojourn as a way of dealing with my father's passing.
Okay.
This was actually back in 2007. There was, but I mean, not immediately, that is, but I was, a part of my healing when we lost him. And a year after that, there was a writing contest sponsored by a local book chain, and that was also at that time being targeted to readers of Neil Gaiman because he was going to be part of the introduction, and he visited the country several times as well before, and his association with that local book chain has been very much prominent back in the 90s and also in the early 2000s. So it was that a collection of speculative fiction, and I tried to submit it. I did get comments regarding it, and even if I didn't make it through that initial reading, the feedback that I got was just how should we say this? It was the kind of feedback that you needed as a starting writer, as someone who's trying to develop his craft, as someone who feels that this might be a calling that he should have heeded back in the day. Yeah.
Oh,
The idea for Sojourn came when I started reading what how should I say actually more like stumbled upon urban fantasy with this UK author named Simon Green. He wrote this series called The Secret Histories, and this is basically a supernatural James Bond kind of romp. So if you love James Bond, but put a little bit of magic, a little bit of sass, a little of attitude, and awesome world building, then it's a series that will just really hook you from one book to the other. And I figured, okay, if they got something over in the UK like that, why doesn't somebody write something that is set here in Manila? And then simultaneously at the same time, I also discovered Trece. This is by Budget Tan, whose series is now a an anime on Netflix as well. So you may want to check it out. She's a supernatural defender of the cities, and she has two supernatural guardians, serving as her right hand or and left hand. And she basically deals out justice against offenses from supernatural creatures in the city. So it was combination of those two that sort of got me thinking: what if magic was normal? What if magic was something that was accepted in the Philippines? And in that acceptance, there would still be some conditions attached to it. So why not confine the use and the existence of magic to a certain to a limited community and see how it goes from there? And that's where the Dark District came about.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, it's very, very cool. So you write a novella is what Sojourn is. So
Yeah.
is it because you just wanted to try it out, or is it that was a story and then you wanted to, and then how do you go from there to Take Me Now, and why do you put it in
Oh,
the same district? And like when you wrote Sojourn, did you know you had more to say at the end, or like
no, no. When I wrote it, I just felt that I had to finish it.
okay.
I know it's a cliche when people say, "Oh, I feel like I have a story that's bubbling inside of me that I have to finish it." It literally was that. I felt that I had to finish it regardless of how crappy or how many syntax or grammatical errors I had, lack of commas or too much use of the semicolon. I just had to finish it. And when I did, I just felt like, wow, I can finally call myself a writer. And then I started asking around how people finish their manuscripts. And that's also the time that I got introduced to NaNoWriMo, which prior to that, I didn't know what NaNoWriMo was. And for those who don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it's basically National Novel Writing Month. It begins in November, it ends at the end of November. It's where people just sit down and write, no matter how many words you have in a day, but at least the promise of finishing your book with 50,000 words at the end of the month. That is the goal. And that started me with Take Me Now. Take Me Now was written at a time when 50 Shades of Grey was all the rage. So I figured, okay, I wrote something that deals with magic, but can we fuse magic and a little bit of spice in it?
it's
How's that going?
spicy.
Hey, yeah, how's that gonna be? So I figured, okay, let's do that. Magic and spice. What
It's
dish am I gonna
spicy,
concoct
yes.
after?
You did good.
Yeah, I never thought I could write something like that, and when I finally did, it's like, okay, this looks promising. And I was premature enough to think that my 50,000 words would actually be all three stories of the Dark District series. But looking back at it now, as I said, it was rather premature, but nonetheless, it got me through a draft of giving a little bit of backbone to each story and knowing who's in it and what I want to happen for each story.
I love that. But you knew immediately that you wanted to write more about the Dark District. Like
Yeah,
that story wasn't done. Like you weren't done talking about that part.
yeah, I was done talking about that part and figured, okay, instead of creating another magic system for a different story, why not just use whatever I have that's existing and branch out further? And one of the reasons why Take My Hand is so much thicker than Take Me Now is because of that. I felt that since I'm purporting to do some world building, why not take it seriously and really run with it and make good on that promise that I'm actually doing just that? And I could not do that much of a world building if I from the get-go tell myself that this is only a novella and only with this number of words that's assigned to a novella. So I figured, okay, I don't know where this is taking me, but I kept going at it. I would write in different times of the day. Sometimes before work, I would park in the garage at work downstairs. I have an hour to kill before my shift comes up, so I'm in the car typing away. And that was one of the most creative times that I've ever written anything, because it was just me inside the car and I was just
Yeah,
typing away.
no
Yeah,
background noise.
no background noise, no nothing. So what if you see cars passing in front of you? That's fine, but you just go at it. I don't have a problem writing in cafes and stuff like that, because that white noise fuels me as well. I don't know if you guys ever get distracted by that, but I love, going outside and writing. But being secluded that way, and it was my first time to sort of like seclude myself in such a space that there was nothing else to do but just, let your hands fly on the keyboard and just, type away.
So how much do you think you wrote like in one setting? Like how many words do you usually do per day?
I just like others, my sweet spot is usually 500, but I would try to give more than 500. So maybe 600 is pretty much my go-to figure of the day. As long as I reach 6 or over 6, that's good. Sometimes if I'm in a really good mood, it'll be 1.5 or 2,000. So, but that's not every day. How I wish it's every day, then I probably would be churning out more books in a year.
I know, wouldn't that be lovely?
Okay,
Yeah,
now
that would be just great.
let's take a deep dive into how you write, CJ.
Oh
So
no.
are you an outliner, a pantser, a plantser? Like, are you somewhere in between? How do you
Yeah,
like?
I guess I'm somewhere in between. I do have a separate sheet that gives me, in bullet points what I want to happen in specific chapters. And yes, I'm guilty like everyone else. You do not follow your own bullet points. Sometimes it just goes off tangent, goes away, and then when you come back to the bullet point, wait, how come I didn't think about this when I was, writing it? I should have two documents open. Sometimes, or more often than not, I wouldn't look at the bullet points. It's just there, and I'll get back to it, and I'll surprise myself and saying, oh, okay, this was supposed to be in chapter 6. Why is it now on 7? So, and then I'll start second guessing myself. Is it better that it's in this chapter, or should I move it here further, earlier on or later on? Or what happened to this other person that I thought was supposed to be there? He's not even there anymore.
So now, if that happens, like, do you follow your outline or do you follow your gut?
More like I follow my gut.
Good for you. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's no right or wrong answer, because people will probably be, a little bit more of a stickler for what they initially outlined, and they will just stick to that in spite of saying that they're panting all the way through in between. But it goes back to that maxim that there is really no fixed or right rule for writing. You go along your own way. So whatever works for you, that works. And who's to say that, again, that whatever element that I did not use from that outline or from that bullet point, I can't use in another book, right?
Totally.
So
That's true. So how do you develop your characters?
Mm.
You have very interesting characters. So how do you come up with the idea of the character? Is it someone that speaks to you and you just start hearing their voice? Or do you have a specific goal in mind and you develop that character to match the goal of the book?
I guess a little bit of both, and I discover them when they start speaking. Like Trina, I didn't know how Trina was supposed to be, but when I finished the first chapter, I realized that, hey, she needs to be sassy. Trina needs to, like, be have some sass and an attitude about with her, and so I tried to visualize someone who embodies that, and I guess having red shoes or wearing red shoes to work will definitely help. That's where clothes come in the sense that sometimes you don't feel like it, but when you start wearing the clothes, you sort of like, hey, I look good. I look tall. It's like, I look smart. So it's from that little nugget of a feeling that I tried to build up on when I write the characters. And sometimes it also becomes an amalgam of other people that I know or want to get to know.
It's funny that you mentioned that for Trina, because the minute that I read Louboutin, I'm like, oh, so she's one of those people. So like it absolutely works. 100%.
It's like, give me my Jimmy Choos and all
Oh,
that.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So then you think up the characters and you put them in certain situations, and then how do you even think up these ideas? Like where do your ideas come from? Are they dreams? Are they do you manage the character first? Do you see a snippet?
Sometimes it does begin with a snippet, and there is something to be said about having ideas come into you when you're in the shower. I don't know why. Sometimes people's ideas come in when they do the dishes. So I guess there's something with I don't know, some sort of the workings of the brain that ideas come into you when you are in the middle of something that's very routinely. So and probably I don't know, I'm being a little bit woo woo about this, but maybe the flow of the water sort of like cleanses whatever toxicity that's in throughout your day, and at the end of the day you're washed away and you're more receptive. You're more receptive to things that pop in. And since we all have smartphones, that is the best place to have all your notes in it. Whenever I hear a name, oh, I don't have a pad and paper with me. Oh, I'll just type it down I'll type it down my phone. So I have an entire world in my phone. And I'll just reference it back whenever I'm looking for names and places. And these names and places will change depending, let's say, where I am. At one point, when we went to Bali 2 years ago, so some of the names that I picked up have more of an Asian flavoring. When I went to New York last year, there will be some. Oh, I like the statue. I like the name of this carving, and it sounds like something else. So whatever it sounds like, that's the one I'm going to be typing and not copying the name itself. So it's those things. So I know I'm not the only one who does that, but if in case you do, then hey, let's be friends.
Also, I would highly recommend that if you're watching this podcast, that you walk on over to your phone, you go to your Instagram account, and you follow CJ Edmunds, because you can live vicariously through his travels and have so much fun. I have visited so many places with you, CJ, just through the pictures that you send. They're beautiful. Beautiful places.
Thank you. Oh boy. Yeah, and for everyone who's thinking that, traveling is all about forking money out to go to places. It's try not to limit your perception of traveling is that if you can travel, go travel, because that is also part of your education while your body still can afford to travel. Not just your checkbook or your wallet or whatever, your body itself. If you're young, go see the world. There's so much to see. There's so much to learn beyond our own borders.
Agreed. Completely agreed. So let's dive into this beautiful new release of yours, Take My Hand. So
You can see
finished?
there on the it's there. There you go.
There
I'm
it
pointing
is.
on the right.
That's
I
right.
don't need to hold it up. It's already there.
Right there. So you finished Take Me Now, and how long before you pick up or you go to your computer and you start the first words of Take My Hand?
For those who finished Take My Hand, I'm sorry, Take Me Now, that is. The end, there was this attack on the bar and all that. So Take My Hand started with somebody walking away from the incident and surviving the incident, but at the same time knowing that she was also running from the law or something like that. I wanted the story to be more sapphic than not, but I just felt I couldn't pull it off. And so I probably need to read more sapphic literature in order to pull it off. And so my compromise was that. So I'm not.
Don't want to spoil.
I know. I was like,
It's
that
going to
that
be
was.
really hard.
I know. If it were only like an open secret of what the whole thing was all about, then it'll be great. But no, I wanted to keep it under wraps, and I'm trying to make it sort of like a standalone that's also part of a series, so that you don't really need to read it chronologically. You can jump from book 2 and then go to book 1, but there will be at least some ties that will piece why this one is tied to the first one, or the second one is tied into the third one, by way of guest appearances.
And I love that, actually. I thought that was a brilliant idea. You're still in the same world and you have references, but like you said, it is a standalone. You can pick up that book and then you want to go pick up the other books. So it's perfect for that. But how long in between the time that you wrote Take Me Now and that you started writing Take My Hand, did you just follow right one from the other?
No, actually, Take My Hand and Take Me Now, and the third one, Take My Heart.
Oh,
They were part of that NaNoWriMo thing that I did.
got it.
All collectively in 50,000 words. I think it was 55 or almost 60. And so at least I already had some sort of backbone to go back to and reference. But as I said, when I went back to writing Take My Hand and seeing that I've been going to cons, I've been promoting the hell out of the first books, like, okay, a year has passed or 2 years has passed, and I still have just one book to my name. Let me do the work and churn out another one. So that's when I took it seriously and I figured, okay, whatever fear is holding me back from completing this book because I felt that I could not finish it, where was the problem? And that was where I felt that I could not write, sapphic literature properly without really being immersing myself in it. And so that's when I changed the component of the character. And because you change the component of the character, you have to change the people that she interacts with.
Right.
And having read, a little bit of George R. R. Martin, who writes from different POVs, and some other books also will have that different POVs. I figured, okay, can I write from different POVs? I mean, reading five POVs is a challenge, but having to write just simply two is a challenge in itself. And so there's a lot of firsts for me with regards to writing Take My Hand. It was the first time that I wrote something that is in excess of 100,000 plus words. It's the first time for me to write two characters from two separate POVs, much less justify why the book even needs to be with two POVs. So with the third one, I don't know what I'm going to do with the third one. I do have like 1/50th or 1/10th already written, and so far I might go back to just one POV. But again, it might change. I might decide to go along with two POVs because I had so much fun, and not to mention it being a challenge as well, writing from that POV standpoint.
Well, lots of good things about that because like I personally like two POVs. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
for especially for
Mhm.
romance, like I love hearing both sides of it. It's fantastic. You did a great job and the twists and turns, and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not gonna say anything about what you did to the character, although it's like really hard not to. But no, like I mean, it's really cool, and I strongly urge people to go and pick up this book, if only so that you can see like I mean, I never read anything like that. It's super cool. I like what you did. It's this is going to be so hard not to.
I know, I know. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to make it difficult for you. But for those who've read one and two, I hope what you take away from that is the kind of world building I was trying to build up on. Because Take Me Now does have supernatural elements in it,
Yeah.
but the main POV is someone who is not supernatural. So for the second one, I needed to level it up and bring in more different beings into the picture, and hopefully in the third one I'm introducing somebody new. Well, not necessarily new, but a more in-depth look into a different kind of being again, which all ties down to different kinds of people living within a community.
Right. And I love the fact that it's a world that you created.
Uh-huh.
Is any of the world that you created based on folklore, or is it just something that you came up with on your own? Like,
It's both something that just popped in again while you're taking a shower, and also at the same time, I guess the influence of things that I watched, not just horror, not just urban fantasy. There's also sci-fi elements in it, but predominantly magic. I mean, there's still so much stuff that I want to do. Actually, when I'm done with the third book in the series, I'm jumping off into another series which will have a younger, well, more like a female protagonist for a change, but someone who can kick ass just like Sarah Michelle Gellar. So
Oh,
that so
nice.
that's so that's a little preview of
no Buffy
what's in
reference
store.
here.
And since they're bringing Buffy the Vampire Slayer back, it's
Right.
like, okay, time to delve into her
I love
again.
that.
She
Oh,
was she was actually, yeah, that's the little history. She was actually the one that I started working on first. And then when I got some feedback from friends, I could not connect with her. There was something lacking. And I felt that because I wanted to incorporate the Dark District into that story, I felt that I needed to go back and flesh out the Dark District first before going into into
That makes a
her.
lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the spoilers there is for those who've read Sojourn, one of the characters who is in that story is part of that Buffy-esque universe.
I can't wait. Okay, I'm very sorry to tell you that like you must start writing that book immediately. I don't care what happens in the rest of your life. Like that's important.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you just got me with that one.
Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but there's limits to our patience here.
Oh, don't
But
worry. I've already started. I've already started.
excellent.
So are
Yeah.
you writing both
I
at
just
the
need to
same
go.
time?
That's right.
I just needed to go back. It's like if I have more than 10 fingers, you know that I'd be working on it even while I'm sleeping.
Oh my
Think
god.
about me and Angie. It's important. Come on. But
Agreed.
back to Take My Hand. What was the hardest part for you to write? Like, was it the actual writing? Like, I know for me, it's like staring at a blank page is really hard. Like, the drafting is so hard. Or for you, is it just developing the character? Or is it the editing? Like, what's the hardest part for you?
The hardest part was, I guess, the authenticity of the scenes, making sure that I got the emotions right,
Nice.
making sure that how detailed did I want it to be in the character's head while the scene was playing out. That was also my main concerns. Like, did I do justice to it by making it, valid? And then when I finished the whole thing, I figured that that's, I guess, that's where the strength of maybe writing any character comes from, is that you have to make sure that your readers emotionally connect to that character, and regardless of how beautiful you spruce up the scene, how detailed or how much detail you put into the physical structure of the space that they're occupying. It's like no one's gonna care how much that IKEA furniture was in the room, if in case those two characters can't connect to each other, much less to the reader. No one's gonna know if that's an original Tiffany lamp that you have there at the side of the room, and you keep talking about it, but you don't talk about what the character is feeling at that moment. Then you're gonna be losing that tenuous connection at best if you progress from one page to the other.
CJ, that's really like, I mean, I'm not being corny here. That's really deep to me. Like the fact that you said authenticity is like, that's huge. Like that, first of all, we've never heard that from another author. And I feel like you hit a huge nail with a huge hammer right on the head. Like, I mean, like the Thor hammer, like it's so true. Like
It is, yeah.
your characters have to be authentic, and you're absolutely right. It doesn't matter what else you do. If your characters aren't authentic,
They're just
Right,
not real.
right.
right?
They're just not real. And the best way to do that, I guess, is to put yourself in the place of those characters. Like, okay, if this happened to me, how will I react? How will I get mad? What will probably be the words that will first be coming out of my mouth? Will I be second guessing my own anger, or do I just spew out things that I don't normally say when I'm emotionally keyed up like that? So it's those things that I wanted to get right, and I felt if I got it right, then at least I felt that I've delivered in some way, to
Nice.
the reader.
Very nice. I love that answer. It was great. The one question that I love asking is, what do you want your readers to get out of your book? Like once you take the book, you've read the book, you're the reader. So you've read the book, you close the book, you put it on the coffee table, and I'm going to say, wow, what do you want them to say?
Oh, yeah, no one's asked me that before. What would I want them to take away from the book? I guess it's that. Is that because I wrote from the point of view of wanting to make emotion as the tether that holds everything together. I guess it's that being true to what you feel for the moment, being true to what you think you're feeling, and having the courage to explore that. Because if you don't, then you're not going to be addressing the elephant in the room. You're just going to be saying, "Oh, it's just there. I'll deal with it later." But sometimes you cannot deal with it later. Sometimes you just have to deal with your emotions right there and then. And if you give it a name, or even if a temporary name, at least you know that you have a hand on things, and you won't go, I don't know, flying off the handle, or mislabel things or situations and then regret them after. So if from the get-go you try to at least understand it, the situation for what it is, then at least you won't be going to, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. No, you have to know what you're doing, or at least get a semblance of this is what I think it is, and then this is what I think the situation can be, and this is how I want to go through with it. And if the person that you are in question with feels the same way, then bravo, you have that connection with that other person, and I wouldn't say that you're set for life, but at least you have someone that you can share things hand in hand with, and hopefully down the line be the same person that you grow old with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why am I being sappy all of a sudden?
Oh,
But that's kind of the theme. But with Take Me Now is one of the things that I really liked was just the main character wanting to find his other half, but then also as things were progressing, the fear, the way you try
The
not
fear
to
of,
swear.
I guess, the fear of commitment.
The commitment, but then also
Yeah.
the way it was expressed.
Okay, all
The
right.
way, right, like try not to spoil it. So the supernatural element that brought
Yeah.
him and Dennis together. There was a supernatural element, and the way you
Yeah.
explained it, that their connection and how it was formed, and then what he needed to do in order to not be afraid to let that connection go forward, and his
Right.
fear in the midst of it as well. It just
Yeah.
into the acceptance of it.
Right. And that also drives home, I guess, the thing about being in the fear of something. I mean, being courageous is not the absence of fear. Being courageous is going and pushing forward in spite of that fear.
Yeah.
So I hope that readers would also pick a little bit of that up, because
Yeah.
if you will let your fear just paralyze you from the get go, you know that you're not gonna be moving from point A to point B. So if part of your fear is I want to be an author, I want to be a writer, but I don't want my work to be judged. But at the same
Yeah.
time, you want your work to be read.
Yes.
So just finish the damn draft.
Right, like exactly. Yes, exactly. That is
can't
right.
edit the blank page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of editing, so when you're editing your books, do you edit as you go, or do you wait until the entire draft is finished and then go back and edit?
Sometimes I would reread a few pages before continuing, just to make sure that I get myself into the mode of carrying on, and making sure that whatever voice that I used in the previous chapter translates and continuously goes the same way to the chapters after. And sometimes I'll just also finish the entire block and then attack it daily, one chapter at a time.
How did you find, because Take My Hand was it was much longer than the rest. How did
Oh
you find
yeah.
that? Like how did that go? Did you get a muddy middle? Did you how did it all go?
It was that muddy middle, but it was really just the need and the desire to get my hands dirty by doing that, by going by writing it inside the car, and just training it out, doing the work, just getting it to the finish. And I feel that if sometimes you feel that if you're in the muddy middle, it's like, I don't know what to do with this, I don't know what's going on. Okay, accept that emotion. You don't know what's going on, but you just kind of like pick yourself up and say, okay, 200 words a day to get through from the muddy middle is still okay than 0 words a day. That's the only thing that was running in my mind at that time. And when you're in the middle of doing your 200 and you sort of like slowly discover your groove again, oh, 200 can be 300, 300 can be 5 can be 6 can be 1,000. Okay, I don't want to go to work, I just want to stay here in the basement and keep writing.
That's true, and that's good advice too.
I'm gonna cut out that clip, the 200 word, and I'm just gonna play it on repeat on the
Right.
and you don't know where you're going.
I know, because that's where we are right now.
That's
I
right.
am like muddy middle. Yeah.
200 words,
Yeah.
that's all we need, Auntie.
I know, right? It's my fault. It's my fault.
It's
Or
not.
100, depending on whatever is easier.
So before we go on to our speed round question, there's one question that I ask all the authors, and I absolutely love hearing the answers. And that's, what's the one most important thing that you think you did that's gotten you to your career where it is right now?
I guess it's giving into the need and the want that I want to see a finished product that I can be proud of, a finished product that I can share with people, a finished product that has the potential to be on any bookshelf. And at the same time, it's at the end of the day, even if you don't have a finished product yet, even if it's just an ebook, you can at least tell yourself that, hey, I did this. hey, I finished this. I'm productive today. I didn't just stay at home, laying on the couch and watching reruns of whatever shows I can get my hands on and nibbling on peanuts. I actually did something.
Not that there's anything
True.
wrong with
Not,
that.
yeah, exactly. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And if you feel that you have to recharge that way in between chapters or in
Yeah.
between books, that's also fine. And it's only having written this much do I really understand that it's okay to slack off. It's okay to relax. It's okay to reward yourself first before doing the work. Some people prefer to do the work and then do the reward after, but you can always switch it up.
That's
Or you can do both. You can write and
Chocolate
have your
sport.
reward on the side. Yeah. Like,
yeah, giant
Cheetos and
chocolate
chips and
bar. Right,
coffee.
right.
There you go. We're back to promoting brands again. Hey,
Yep.
Cheetos.
That's right.
You
Chocolate
you gotta
chips,
endorse her here,
cookies.
so give it.
But before we go to the speed round, I just want to say one thing to you, CJ, that I don't think I've ever said to you, but I love the fact that you're such a well-read person. I absolutely love it. So it's
Oh
fun
my
to
God, I
speak
try
to
to be
you.
well read.
You
I try
are.
to be well.
Like it's fantastic to speak to you because every time that we speak to you about something, like you've got the receipts. You know what I mean? Like you've read the book, you know
Oh,
the author. It's fantastic. So congrats, and we love having you on. So anytime you want to come and
thank you,
promote
thank
another
you.
book, come on
Yeah.
over.
And you know what's really nice is the fact that he reads the kind of books that we read, so that we don't feel quite as nerdy.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're always on the same page.
All right, we're here.
it's working. But we're gonna move on now because we could talk to CJ for the rest of the night. Oh no, he's
Feelings
That's true.
mutual.
okay.
The feelings mutual, and I always have a blast, coming on the show. And it's nice to talk to like-minded individuals who can equally inspire you and at the same time make you think. Say, hey, I haven't not considered this before, and that's what good conversation does. That
Yeah.
it does inspire you and it makes you think at the same time.
I agree. We need to have these little conferences to just not talk shop. We'll do that one time, just
Oh
like
yeah,
Hang
yeah, yeah, yeah.
out. Yeah, hang out.
Yeah.
but we are
More
going
like tease one another like I'm eating this. What are you eating?
That's right. We will. We will. But we are going to move on and go to our speed round questions.
Okay.
We call them speed rounds. They're not really speedy. You can answer them any way you want. We just want the audience to understand you, see you as a person, not necessarily just an author.
Okay.
Are
All
you
right.
ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Oh,
I
and
am.
just one caveat. They're not supposed to be hard. So if you find them hard, it was not done on purpose. Just saying. I'm not trying to trick anybody here. Okay.
Okay. No questions on trigonometry, physics, and chemistry, please.
I promise you
None.
that. No.
Don't worry about that.
So question number one is, what is your ultimate comfort reread?
Oh, comfort reread. It will usually be graphic novels, the graphic novels that would involve DC characters and vampires and anything that has to do with otherworldly beings.
This is why we love you, CJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to be Game of Thrones.
So a little plug. My comfort reread is the Blackest Night series by Jeff Johns. So that's where DC characters deal with DC characters that have died and criminals as well, and they come back and they are just ring wielding zombies or sort of like zombies.
Sounds cool.
Feel like I've read that one, maybe.
And the first time I read it, the panels and the drawing just gave me the heebie-jeebies, and I actually want to go back right in.
This is
If
the
I
other
haven't,
thing.
I'm definitely gonna find it.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
other thing about talking to CJ is my TBR grows by like
I
5
know.
minutes every time.
That's what
Um,
TBRs are for. They never shrink. They just
They
grow
do. They
exponentially.
explode. Yes, absolutely. Number two, you're gonna love this one. Who do you think wins in a battle? Gandalf, Dumbledore, or Doctor Strange?
Oh God, that's hard. I want all of them to win in different in different ways. But because Gandalf is a Maiar and he is sort of like an otherworldly being, unlike Dumbledore and Doctor Strange, who are mortal and they harness magic in itself, I would say Gandalf. Gandalf was just being, how should we say this? He was keeping his abilities in check throughout the series. But if
If he really wanted to.
if he really wanted to, he can. So I'm going
Awesome.
with Gandalf, which is
Good
also
for
the name of my first car back in the day.
Number three, you have to sing a duet with a fictional character. Who do you pick?
I do hope that the fictional character also sings, but I haven't really read a fictional character who can carry a tune. Yeah, but since I want someone who is up for anything or almost anything, I'd probably choose my character, Trina.
Nice. That would be
Yeah,
really cool, actually. I
yeah,
would.
and wearing red Louboutins as
Oh
well.
yeah, the sassiness that would come out of that song, man. I like
Oh
it.
yeah.
Number 4, would you rather host a con panel with George R.R. Martin or share a recording booth with Mark Hamill?
Oh boy, never thought of that.
These are cool.
Woohoo.
These are gonna be
These are
easy.
cool. These are cool questions.
I kind of
if
teased him a little bit because we know CJ so well.
I know, right?
you know which ones that are just stump me. I'll probably go with Mark Hamill
He's a
because
really nice guy too.
yeah, because well, first and foremost, he's Luke Skywalker, for crying out loud. We all grew up with Star Wars and all, and plus, he's also a voice actor, and which is in a way what I do during the day. So it would be great for us to talk shop and also just tell him, how much his work has meant to so many people as well as me. So yeah, it'll
Nice
probably be
answer.
Mark Hamill.
Love that.
I like that. I really like that. Number 5 is, which fictional world would you move to instantly? I kind of know this. I think.
Let's see. Because they're doing a movie at it, I wouldn't mind living in Portland, and that would be the Grimm universe.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. And any 5 minutes with David Gentoli, give it to me.
I'm still excited.
Give it to me, David. If you're listening, I love you. That's all.
I'm still upset they canceled that. So
Yeah, but at least they're bringing it back for a movie. So which is,
Oh, that's
sorry.
cool.
but it's not the same. It
No.
doesn't feel the same. Well,
No.
that and the Buffy and the Charmed universes. Those are the ones that I wanna I wanna be in for TV.
it's
Yeah.
a like double-edged sword, right? Because like you want to be there, but do you really want to be there? Like
I
it's
You
know.
might get turned into a puppet at some point.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, you never know. Do I really want to be talking to someone who I thought was a human but actually isn't a Vesant? I'm not
I
sure
don't
about
know.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Number 6 is, you're forming a 3-person squad, Avengers style. Which
Okay.
2 fictional characters do you want by your side?
Whoa. I want Chris Hemsworth by my side. That's for sure.
That's just yeah.
Because he's a god. And then at the same time, I want someone who can be tactical and rational about the whole thing. So I guess maybe Nick Fury.
Oh, I would not have
Yeah.
said that. Awesome.
Yeah. Somebody who's upper magical in the upper echelon, and someone who's on the down low, on somebody more mundane and can sort of like help you out with logistics.
No. And who has a phone number for Miss
For Right, for every other hero that you want to bring in.
exactly, like
For
it's
everyone.
neat. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah,
Number
I'm played by
7.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, that's right.
Good. Number 7, fill in the blank. When I'm not writing, I'm most probably doing.
Oh, when I'm not writing, I most probably am just reading another graphic novel or watching reruns of shows or trying to catch up with some of the shows that I want to be finishing already because I'm late. One of the shows I'm trying to finish is you guys probably have seen it because it's already been out for quite some time. The Man in the High Castle.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
I
I've never
started
seen that one. I've
Yeah,
heard
I
of
started
it.
that
Yeah.
one and I never finished it. I gotta go back.
Right. I'm enjoying it. It's that alternate world wherein the Germans win World War II
Oh.
and
Ooh.
everything just it's just crazy. Yeah, everything just is crazy.
Number 8 is, you get one magical power. Which one do you want
Oh boy. So many powers to
to choose from?
to consider. Yeah. At this time it'll probably turn back time.
Oh,
That's good.
Yeah, turn back time so that I'm trying not to be emotional here. So that you can relive, revisit, and maybe rework things and situations that you had with people who aren't here with you anymore.
that's very important. I see, like you're such a thoughtful person. Like you You're emotional and you're thoughtful. Good on you.
Really?
Good on you.
think
I don't know.
most
Must be
people-
it must be the coffee that I had this morning. So I don't know.
No, you're always like that. You're always thoughtful. You're always no.
Somebody slipped in a red or blue pill in my coffee today.
Oh.
Nope, this is just DJ the way we know him. So
Yeah.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable would you be without Wi-Fi for a week?
For a week.
Mhm.
I guess I could do for about a couple of days probably because I can cheat. Fine. I don't have Wi-Fi, but I can always open the data on my phone.
That's
So
right. Peter.
it's still I still have access. I still have access. But when you think about it, most of us grew up without that.
So true.
So and so we've really gotten spoiled in our in this age.
Yes.
So it will be a massive way of really detoxing your own, your own way of thinking, your own way of doing things. But that will be a challenge that I think I would be up for, provided I have enough books to last me for the week. I have at least a good working computer that I can jot my thoughts down, and who knows, I might churn out, a novella in a week, and enough chips as well to keep me happy for the rest of the week. So those are
Right, that's
those
gonna
are
be
my
hard.
conditions.
Oh, and
Yeah,
if you're possibly in Bali or some other country where you could just relax on the beach and read and not have
Yeah,
to worry about it. To distract
exactly,
you
and
from not having
try to
Wi-Fi.
master a foreign language at the same time. So
It'll help.
so yeah, just little things that you can do in a week's time, right?
Okay, and the last question is, what's your
There will
light?
be 10 more questions.
No, the
No.
last one is really good. Actually, I was really proud of myself for coming up with it. And it's
Okay.
what's your lightsaber color?
Oh,
Ooh.
my first one was red, and then I had a blue one, and for the third one, I wanted to have purple because Samuel L. Jackson.
Absolutely.
But it turned out that the purple gives me more than just one color, so it changes. So I didn't know that it changes. I was like, oh, okay.
I like the fact that he said, well, my first lightsaber was
I didn't mean it that way, but I'm just looking at it because it's at the corner of the room.
we're like lightsaber. I don't have a lightsaber. Yeah, you have a lightsaber. They're like right there.
Yeah,
I,
great.
I hope I didn't sound like I was bragging.
DJ, thank you so much for answering all those questions.
Thank you, and I'm all game for another set of 10.
Next
Christie
time
had to come
on.
up with another one. She
Yeah.
was good this time. This was a good pen. So CJ, what are you working on now? You said you're working on that the third, and you have a fourth book. So which one are you working on currently?
Currently, I'm working on another project because just like your TBRs, you cannot have just like one book waiting in the wings for you. You need to have more. So I'm working on, and I've only discovered this as I wrote, short stories. I'm enjoying writing short stories, and hopefully, who knows, I might have a collection of them either by the end of the year or by the start of next year. So that's the thing that's driving me to write. And I'm trying to, and I'm sure you guys can also relate to this. When you know that you have one project after another waiting in the wings for it, you just need to go at it like, okay, this is my first bag of chips. I just need to finish the first bag so that I can go to the second bag. No peeking on the
That's not
third,
true.
but just
Me and Angie just start the second bag right away. And the other day we were thinking of maybe opening a third bag.
Well, I was really tempted because I really have ideas for that first chapter for the third book. And
There
I
you go.
almost started writing it the other day. I can't finish my chapter for book 2 and book 1, but I can do first chapter in book 1.
There you go. But make sure if you open those bag of chips, you close them up properly because you don't want them to get stale either. So
Yeah. And if you wait too long, that's what happens. We put it anyway. I'm not going to go
Yeah,
into
yeah.
all that. Yeah.
That's
but
right. That's
yeah.
right. I know. But but sometimes when you read those things again, it's like, okay, I know the magic's there. I just have to like access it. I just need to make sure I have the right hand movements to weave. Yes. Bring it back, damn it. Bring it back.
I know. Yes, yes. I have the tattoo.
Oh, you do? Tattoo of
Yeah,
the wheel?
I have this. No, I have the star for the white cloak star.
Oh,
I know that's wrong, but I did. I
oh
love the
no.
star. I thought it was so
The
pretty.
white cloaks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because in the books they have the little symbols for each page, for the
Right.
chapters, and I loved it. And now my 24th birthday was my gift to myself.
Nice.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Bring it back, bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. Need to make something happen with that franchise.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how many readers of Wheel of Time there are with the podcast, but if you're one of them, hey, let's talk.
I agree.
yes, I agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where can people find you on social media?
I'm usually on Instagram posting pictures of food and places that I've been to. Just hit me up. That's Kaz Edmunds. I'm also on Facebook. That's cjedmunds.writer. And for everything else, there's cjedmunds.com, which reminds me, I need to get on revising the website as well because there's some coding issues.
Yeah. And tell them about your podcast as well.
Yeah, the podcast is called Urban Fantasy PH. While the word PH is there because I mainly focus on Filipino creatives, whether you are based here or abroad, you're a shoe-in for the podcast. And down the line, yes, I am thinking of featuring creatives who are within the same genre that are not Filipino. So heck, who knows? Down the line, I might think of rechanging the name of the podcast. So just to sort of like accommodate everybody that I want. So
Yeah, or
of course
just do a second one. You could have two.
Okay.
Yeah, have a
Oh
second
boy.
channel.
Someone's giving me a challenge, or someone's lolling a bag of chips in front of me, waving a bag of chips in front of me.
Doritos. No, maybe
Yes,
Doritos, but
the Vito, the second bag of chips is waiting for you.
they're calling your name. Yeah, yeah. But no,
I
it's
know.
awesome because I watch Urban Fantasy PH and I love your authors and it's always fun and you do a fantastic job just
Oh,
highlighting
thank you,
their
thank you.
work. So yeah, I'm a huge fan, and we are huge fans of you. We love when you come on. We love being able to do these podcasts with you and the difference. Like when we get to do our favorite sci-fi books or our favorite, fantasy novels. And we haven't done the fantasy sci-fi. We haven't done that one yet. We need to do it.
We've done
So
yeah,
what is
we've done fantasy. We haven't done sci-fi yet. That's in the works.
in the
And
works?
I wouldn't be surprised if we would want to include horror books in it as well. So
Yeah, yeah. We did horror last time, y'all.
Yeah, we did it for
Halloween.
Halloween.
for Halloween, yeah. Oh yeah,
we
right,
did
right,
horror
right.
for
For Halloween.
Halloween.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did already.
We could also
Yes.
do just like a vampire or like something like that. Like we could definitely
Yes. Favorite vampires.
yeah,
Yeah.
do that.
Probably for all from Anne Rice.
It
Yeah.
can't all be Van Anne Rice.
It can't no, yes, it cannot. It cannot all
No, we
be
have to branch out a
can't all
little
be.
bit, Spike.
But we'll do
Yeah,
something.
yeah, there you go.
We'll do something. We'll do something. But
We'll
I
do
Yeah.
something.
also want to know, what is your relationship to spine books?
Oh, Spine Books is my personal imprint.
Nice.
And that's why it's called spine book because I'm rather particular about the spine of a book whenever I read, and I don't want it to have any creases. So you can imagine how careful I am when I open the book. And it also didn't help at one time when I lent a copy of a different book to a colleague, and he just opened it right there in front of me. Rawr.
Oh
I
no.
was like, no, please don't do that. You're gonna disengage the pages. What are you thinking? That's not how you read a book. I mean, it might be the way you read it in your house, but not in my house.
I
We take care
forgot
of the
that when we
spine.
first got married, because I would fold the pages in order, and he's like, "Don't fold the pages, don't fold the pages." So now I can't. I like get it like a bookmark, like.
That's why I don't lend books to anybody anymore. If you want to borrow my book, it's yours. It's just yours. I'll go buy another book because
Yeah,
Because I
exactly,
can't-
exactly. I'd rather do that. I'd rather buy you the book than lend, you my copy because if not for the spine, sometimes it also doesn't come back. So
exactly.
like,
That's so
I'm
true.
sorry, I moved house. It's like I can't find a copy of your book. Like, oh no,
Whatever.
this
It was a
again.
that's right.
All right. So I guess we've kept you too long because it's early morning where you are in the Philippines, and over here is getting late. So we should probably say goodbye. But I just want to say thank you again for coming on the podcast. We had so much fun with you. And I also want to say thank you to all the people who watched and are supporting us. And if you like CJ as much as we do, we also have some other videos with him as a third co-host. So check those out. We're going to put links probably somewhere on the page. And we'll also have a link to his podcast at the end of this video. So please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can watch more videos from us. And again, thank you, CJ, for coming on. We had so much fun. Like, thank you.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Christy. It's always a pleasure. It's always a blast, being in the show. And I love you guys. And whatever it is that you need me to do, anything in the next time, all you got to do is just message me.
Same here. We love you.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Click to watch Angie Christie's takeaways from the interview with CJ Edmunds, or check out CJ's YouTube channel, Urban Fantasy PH.